Another top Republican is coming out in support of Hillary Clinton. Christopher Shays spent 34 years as an elected official for Connecticut, 21 of those years in U.S. Congress. In an op-ed out today, he says he's always voted Republican, but not this year. Earlier, I spoke with him about why he made the switch. You have not been shy about crossing party lines. You look at your record on Capitol Hill. Tom DeLay, the ethics violation in 2005. You weren't afraid to come out and take a strong stance on that. But just recently, you have said Hillary Clinton is so ethically challenged.
I said Hillary Clinton?
Hillary Clinton. Yeah. How can you now support her?
You know why? And I admitted in the statement that I've had, some real questions about her. But some of it is years of just kind of treating her a certain way. And if I step back, I think, you know what? She's the only one I know that can bring Republicans and Democrats together. I looked at both conventions. One was a dark, terrible convention, and one was a convention that talked about the things I believe in. And so I have two choices, frankly. I have Donald Trump, who I think is dangerous. I think Hillary is smart. I think she's strong. I think she knows world leaders. I think she knows the countries around the world. She knows the White House. Good grief. She knows Congress. And when I worked with her as a senator, we worked quite well together.
But some people say, that her detractors say that's the problem with Hillary Clinton. She has too many close ties with too many people. A story out now talking about the Clinton Foundation and the close ties with the State Department, using her connections at the State Department, now raising questions.
So
about
if you ask me, are there things I wish she didn't do? You're darn right. And would this even be a close race if she hadn't done those things? It wouldn't be close, because she's so competent to be a president. I used in my office what I call the community meeting test. If I couldn't defend it comfortably in a community meeting, I wouldn't do it. And, I think she needs to follow that.
When you talk about her, a lot of people say that the issue is trust. They just don't trust her. What do you say to Republicans who say, I'm just not there yet with Chris Shays. I cannot cross party lines to vote for her?
And you're going to vote for Donald Trump? I don't think so. He's in a snake pit, and he just is digging it deeper and deeper and deeper. Every day there's something. And those who support, I think of Christie and what he's having to defend. I think of Rudy and what he has to defend. It's going to get worse. It's not going to get better. When a president says something, the whole world pays attention. And this is someone who's not qualified in any way to be president. And he's callous. And frankly, he's a risk taker with no sense of the consequence.
You're not alone. Senator of Maine, Susan Collins, and now we're hearing also former Director of National Intelligence, John Negroponte, also coming out saying he also supports Hillary Clinton over Trump.
These are people I really respect.
They are people who are establishment Republicans, people who are in security, national security, head of the Senate. What do you say about your party at this point, the Republican Party, if high-level folks in the Republican Party are now saying we're crossing lines to vote for someone that many of them have despised for so many years?
So I'm a moderate Republican. I think I'm center-right. And I've had Hannity and the others say, well, you're not really a Republican in name only. And I've had the religious community sometimes step in on issues like abortion. And yet I think the religious community, Hannity, the most conservative folks in my party, are putting their arms around a guy who is beyond liberal. In fact, I don't even know what sense he has about what his anchor is. So my party has lost its way. And it would be very destructive, frankly, if a lot of good senators and congressmen lose because of Donald Trump. That would not be positive. So I support Hillary Clinton, but I'm going to be working for my fellow Republicans. And my first choice was John Kasich, and the press paid no attention to him. He's done so much for Ohio. He would have been a wonderful president. So he was my first, second, and third choice. And then it's Hillary Clinton, and that's my choice.
A lot of people did support Kasich towards the end and felt he just didn't have the momentum that he needed early on to get to where he should have been. I want to ask you about the Supreme Court. A lot of people concerned Hillary Clinton White House is not going to be good for Republicans when it comes to the Supreme Court.
I think that she's going to appoint people who are capable, and then the Senate's going to vote it up or down. You don't want an ideologue. You want someone who's going to look at the Constitution as our founding fathers intended. And it's total garbage to say that Hillary Clinton is going to get rid of the Second Amendment. First off, she's not going to. The court's not going to. Should there be some sensible laws about whether you do background checks? Of course. The NRA doesn't want to do it. Why don't they? Because they think that's the camel's head under the tent. Well, every law could be the camel's head under the tent. You just take each law. Is it sensible or not? If it's sensible, do it. If it's not, don't.
Are you concerned? There are so many Americans out there who are working class and feel the Obama administration has not done enough for them, that Hillary Clinton's and future administration wouldn't do enough for them. What do you say to those working class Americans who feel like Donald Trump, the change he would bring would be good for America and good for their pocketbooks?
Well, first off, they don't know what he's going to do. I mean, he said he wasn't going to raise money outside, and he raises money outside. I mean, he says, you know, he never supported the war, and yet you know he did. So whatever he says, how can you trust him? Hillary Clinton is competent. We do know this. Since 2000, our economy's growth has been pathetic. My parents would tell my older brothers, your brother lives better than you did because welcome to America. Every 18 years, your economy doubled. Your families become wealthier. We've had anemic growth since 2000, under, regretfully, President Bush, and then under President Obama. Whoever is president, they've got to move our economy forward.
Okay, you were one of the most traveled congressmen to Iraq. I've got to ask you.
Yeah.
It's a big focus now. What would you advise to the White House or the next occupant of the White House on how to deal with Iraq?
Know the culture. Understand people. We did things that were so foolish. We said Saddam's folks, even if they were teachers, couldn't have a role in the government. I went 4 times outside the umbrella of the military. And people would say to me, didn't you ever read about us? The cradle of civilization. Why would you want to divide us in 3 parts? Why can't my husband at least guard a hospital? Literally said that. The first death in the 4th Congressional District was Wilfredo Perez guarding a hospital. We made one mistake after another after we went in. Know the culture, understand people, that'll help.
Okay, Christopher Shays, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you, Mina.